How you holding in there?
You're doing good.
I don't feel super drunk, but I feel like I could be getting sick.
Awesome.
That's the wave you want to ride.
That's the wave you want to ride, baby.
You want to be like,
you got hours.
You want to be like, I'm not drunk, so I could have some more, but I feel a little sick. I'm right there, like I'm good. Yeah, you said like 5 words the last.
I know. I was like into this like an hour ago, and now I'm like. I didn't know that much about Greg until just a few years ago, and then when I got to meet him and I got to watch him speak and I got to see his portfolio and him explaining the complexity of his photo shoots.
Yeah.
He seems like the super nerd photographer who's like, I'm gonna get the shot, but I've got this new piece of gear, this new technique that's like, I'm going to do just for me and my photography buddies.
Oh, it's a challenge to him to technically make everything work, to make everything jive, to make it help like the subject matter somehow, some way. Like his technique is always going to be like, well, we're going to do this because it matches how he relates to like the world or how he relates to the background, whatever it is. Like it always has to do with like, it's not just like someone goes, I'm going to shoot this black and white. Why are you going to shoot it black and white? Because it looks cool. Greg's not it because it looks cool. He's like, he always looks at it and says, what contributes to that subject matter's relation to the background in the photo? Like, does it help tell the story about them or not? And if he's come across a new technology or a new something that's going to help in his mind tell the story of that, he's all in. For Giuliani, for that Time Person of the Year, that was a really great shoot and a great experience for me because, going in, we go up to the top of a building that doesn't have access at the time. And it was the top of the rock. And now there's a whole viewing deck there, but at the time there was no glass or anything. And I don't know how Greg's producers or how Time got that sorted, but they did. So we went up there and the weather was like inclement for like 3 days. But we still went up there and did our test shoots every single day. And
how many days did that take?
We spent 3 days doing pre-light when we expected to do one and then have the mayor. But every time that the weather was inclement, we couldn't get them because we don't want the fucking mayor to blow off the top of a building.
It was like bad weather or like gloomy?
It's like rainy and blowing. Like all of a sudden I'm standing there, like I'm standing where like Giuliani would be standing on the edge of a building, 60 floors down. And all of a sudden like a big gust would blow. And I'd bend my knees and I'd lean forward. I was like, Greg, I think we need to build like a platform here. Like, let's do like an 8 by 8 foot platform just out of frame in front of him so then if he has to step off, he can, so he doesn't feel vertigo. And as well as there's a gust of wind, tell the mayor to jump forward, don't be blown off a 60-foot building. Like, you don't want to kill him.
60-story.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I said 60.
You don't want to kill him.
You don't want to
have
kill
that
him.
On your
right, like
your resume.
Yeah, you don't want it to go like off the 60th floor of the rocket.
It's the assistant that killed.
Yeah, off the Rockefeller Center.
He didn't grab his arm.
Yeah, so we did. We built out this platform and everything. And once you put that platform, all of a sudden you don't feel the vertigo of being up on like this ledge. Like you don't get this weird like, oh. And when the wind blows, you go, well, I'll just take a step forward. Like everything was like easy then. And so we get Giuliani and we get him up there. And Greg is shooting with an 8 by 10 camera, okay? Which is the big view camera, with a curtain and everything. And he has an extreme tilt on the front that has Giuliani, the Empire State Building, and in the background, the burning World Trade Center that had just gone down 20 days earlier. And it was still smoldering smoke coming out of it. And this was all about like how he handled 9/11. That was why he got this, prestigious cover. And so that extreme tilt means your focus goes on the angle of the lens, which means who is here, who your subject is, and it goes in the direct line of the plane of your lens. So direct line, you have your talent, and then the Empire State Building, and back there, the smoldering New York City, and everything's out of focus over here.
So this is tilt shift times.
Tilt shift times. Well, we're on a view camera, we're on an 8 by 10 camera. So he does this extreme tilt. The problem with an extreme tilt is that once you do it, right? And you come out from the curtain, and you close your shutter, and you put in your film. If someone changes their shift, if someone shifts their weight, your subject shifts their weight from their left to the right, that focus is here, not here.
And it's a major fall off. It's like a...
It's not one of those...
It's not soft.
It's close enough. It's not close enough. So we shoot a whole bunch of pictures. We're doing this, and obviously you have limited time. You're with the mayor of New York on the ledge of the top of a 60-floor building. And we're shooting. We knock it all out. After we go and do the shoot, we go out to dinner. And we go out to dinner, one, in like a celebration of like, man, we pulled it off. But two, you still have to send the film through the lab. And now we're not going to send all the film at the same time in case like that machine lights on fire. So you send like 6 sheets at a time. All right, we're going to send one.
You're going to hedge your film. The most valuable thing you've done all day. I'm going to...
That's what we do.
Send a few.
Yeah.
Send a few.
Yeah, you hedge.
On the most complicated focus shot ever.
Well, you hedge it because you're like, again, the last thing you need is like, the guy from the lab going like, yeah, the machine. And you're like, what is this, Ritz camera? And it has like a claw that scratches things in your prints. Like, what the fuck?
They're crystals and they build up on the rollers.
Yeah, right. And so with this, you're like, you can't do that. So we run 6, we run another 6, we run another 6. And we're at dinner.
You're at dinner and they're like being run to, or they're like someone's calling you?
Yeah. We got the messenger bringing them to us at dinner. You get 6, every single one out of focus. Apparently, Giuliani shifted his weight. Fuck. We get some more. We got some out of focus. Like, you gotta be kidding me. By the last batch, like, dessert's there. Or, yeah, you're sweating a little bit. But I asked Greg, I'm like...
How many frames did he take? More than 24, 50, 100?
I mean, each one
100,
was one piece of film.
He took like
I'm guessing,
30.
I'm guessing 50. Guessing. I don't recall. I mean, but I'm guessing 50. And
you're halfway
That's
there.
a lot for 8x10. I mean, that was a slow process.
Well, you say slow process until you have me feeding you the film.
Oh.
Greg is here, and he's a pro, man. He's like, Mayor, can I have you look this way? He hands it to me. I hand it to him. It's in the camera. And as he does this, I'm cocking the lens. Bam. He hits it. He closes it. I cock the lens. He turns it around, puts it in. Bam. It's like you're getting one every 3 seconds. Like, it's not like one of those like, well, back in my day, camera took you 9 minutes to take a picture. It's not like that. Like, you're feeding it. You're there. You have someone cocking your lens while you... Well, the key to any large format thing, stop and refocus. But whenever you're in that, you're like, I need to get these frames. And it's about, let me get the maximum amount of frame. And Greg does refocus.
But that little bit of talent change.
But the talent changes, it happens. So I asked Greg, after we've got the second batch of out-of-focus photos.
I think what you're about to say is like one of my favorite quotes I've heard anybody say.
And I said, Greg, I'm like, when you're doing this shoot and the stakes are high, and you got this extreme tilt, like why do you take that big risk on this? Like,
because he could have. What could he have done?
What? You know what he could have done? Not done an extreme tilt, and it could have been Giuliani in focus with like an out of focus, like New York City background, and New York City, you know what it is. Like, it could happen, and you could have done that.
On that camera, you stop down as much as you can. The film speed's
at night.
slow.
Well,
it's at
dude,
night.
It's at night, and we're shooting, I think, probably 100 or 200 speed film. Like, it's not like a high speed film. It's film. And we're shooting.
But Greg's got like kaboom going off every second, right?
We have that going off on Giuliani, but we can't light the city.
Right.
It's nighttime. I need to see a smoldering 9/11 site based on what the shoot and why we're here. So I asked him, like, why do you risk that? Like, why do you do that extreme tilt? Like, and this is the shot. Like, why do we put all our eggs in one basket? And he's like, when you are doing the biggest photos of your career, and when you do have all this like on the line, the risk is there. That's the time to take your biggest risks, exercise your craft, because when it pays off big. And it tells you like you know what you're doing. And it just, I was like, I'm sitting there like, I was like getting chills. I was like, this is awesome. Because I knew our first couple batches came back blurry.
You know he's sweating a little bit.
Oh, of course he's sweating. You know, the cheesecake's coming out and he's sweating. He's like, fuck, like we're waiting on the next batch. And he put an extreme amount of risk on the fact of like, we're gonna make a great photo. Because when you make a great photo, especially in those moments, it becomes even more epic. That third batch comes in. We got one on the fucking money. Crisp, everything's perfect. I think
Expression, like everything?
Expression, everything. I think that was the photo they used. It might not have been. Maybe it was one of them from the next subsequent batches. But I have to tell you, it's like, here you are, full from like a big old meal like Balthazar.
What kind of food was this? Because I imagine you guys in some Italian dark
French.
restaurant.
It was French.
And it's just
bold.
like some guys coming up. Here you go, and it's pull them out and like let's look at them.
Yeah,
and
you
it's
got
like,
you got the chrome, and yeah, Greg's there with the loop, and like, I mean,
no, they weren't prints. They were the negative. They were the negative.
8x10 chrome,
right?
8x10 chrome, so 8x10 slide film. So it's like you're right there at the light, like in the restaurant, like, and all of a sudden it's like we got it, and it was like we wanted to like erupt, like yay, like streamers, like you want like a marching band to like run through the fucking restaurant. It was awesome. It paid off big, and it paid off to be one of the images that, one of the images that defines Greg's career amongst a lifetime of making great images.